Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my angels. It is the Archangel here, and today, we're gonna be going over my top 5 tips for solo players in Dark and Darker. So, tip number 1, no boots. I believe that not wearing, much like PUBG, you can hear other people's footsteps. Sound cues are really important in this game, and it'll help you differentiate your feet from other people's, which I think is really important when you're constantly looking for other people who are trying to kill you. Tip number 2, learning other people's footsteps. So, right along with not wearing any boots, you can tell the difference between other party members or other players depending on what they're wearing. If you hear pitter patters like your own feet, you know they're either not wearing boots or they're still naked. If you hear hard thumps, they're wearing hard boots. If you hear chain link like chink chink, they're probably somebody that is wearing chainmail, so it would imply that it's a warrior. Slight thumps would be somebody like a wizard, and like just clumps are normally somebody that wearing hard boots, so it could be almost anybody. But the point is, if you learn the different types of footsteps, you can kind of get an idea of what classes are going to be around the corner. Tip number 3, learn the map and the spawn points as quickly as possible. So, in my opinion, this is really important because this way you know where the loot is, you know where the spawn points are, you have a better idea of where to avoid or where to go to depending on what you're trying to do. If you're out player hunting and you know where the spawns are and you go, damn, I know I spawned up here, there should be at least 3 spawns in this area, perfect. If you're trying to loot and get out, you know exactly where to go, where good loot is to stay away from, or you can pick up the scraps. I mean, I'm a solo ranger, I live on scraps. Tip number 4, your new favorite food is cheese. Everything you do is cheesy. If you want to kill anything, there are plenty of areas that are able to be cheese, plenty of bosses that you can cheese. I keep saying cheese, but it's playing solo, you have to be cheesy. It's so much easier to play as a ranged solo, like a ranger or a monk, like cleric. But you can also do it with anything with a long weapon. Use spears if you can. It makes your lives just so much easier at the end of the day. And then my tip number 5 is, until you hit level 15, don't worry about dying. What you should need to be focusing on up until level 15 is getting experience, killing as many things as possible. I would not even worry about loot, because if you start worrying about loot at such a low level, then by the time you get to level 15, you're going to be burnt out. You're going to be like, damn, I wish I had, I wish I had, I wish I had. Gear fear is really high in this game. It's really high for everybody. But if you just play it like a normal RPG, at the very least to level 15, and you have unlocked all 4 of your perks in your perk tree that you can attach, it will make the game easier. Level 15, the game starts. So everything else is just practice. That is your time to learn the maps. That is your time to learn your character, learn the cheesy spots and all that kind of thing. If you guys want me to show you cheesy spots to get care of certain bosses, let me know. So I'm going to throw in a quick 6th one, and it has to do with PvP and understanding the weapon structure of what your opponent is using. Barbarians are very common solo players, or are just very common in general, and they a lot of time use 2-handed axes. Barbarians will swing 2-handed axes from right to left. That means if you circle to their left inside of a hallway, they have a higher chance of hitting a wall. And it's something to think about along with archers. You have to zig and zag. If it's a cleric, their mace, their first attack is straight up and down. Circle them. The hardest people are really going to be able to fight are going to be rogues, because they have most of their attacks are going to be straight. So as long as their cursor is on you, they're going to be hitting you. You know, mages, a lot of their things they aren't able to cast when they're moving. So keep them moving. Their magic missiles, they have to be standing still. I can do that. Anyway, with that, I appreciate you all for coming out. I've been streaming this game a lot lately, and I appreciate all the support that you guys have shown. Yeah, with that, remember, stretch those wings. They'll take you somewhere someday. Catch you in the next one.
Dang, that's dangerous.